Hey everyone, this is Selena from Close Look. I'm here with Cassandra, a young artist 20 years old from Langley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. So tell me, what kind of art do you do?
I do a mixture of everything. I kind of do, nails, mural work, balloon twisting, face painting, drawing, watercolor, jewelry design, clothing design, tattoo design. I do basically anything you can think of, I do it.
Well, that's pretty crazy. How long have you been doing this for? Have you always been interested in art?
I've been doing this for probably since I can remember, but it all depends on what type of art, because I've been doing certain things for certain periods of time, but I didn't really see art going anywhere for a long time until I got older, and then I kind of realized I actually had a love for art, because originally I never did. So it was kind of something just gradual that happened. I never actually noticed it in the beginning.
Okay, so it was more of a hobby for you in the beginning?
Yeah, it's more of a hobby for me in the beginning, but now that I'm older I see the opportunities in it, so now I'm actually pursuing it more than I did before.
Okay, so what are you doing right now? Are you doing it for work? Do you have your own business, or?
I'm actually still doing it for work and for personal business. I do mostly for personal business. I do like mini top hats and jewelry and things along that type of line. And then for my actual work, I do face painting, henna tattoos, balloon twisting, and airbrushing. And sometimes I do mural work, but that's usually on my own time.
So how did you get more into the entertainment side of it?
It's actually, my job kind of grew into that originally. I actually started when I was 14 at my job, and then they decided to just branch out and do more things. So then eventually I actually had to start becoming more of an entertainer and doing more entertainment things like balloon twisting, getting to know people more closely and getting like right in their face and being like, hey, you want something? And that just kind of made me feel a little bit better. But now that it's really hard to say, because it's just, it kind of just happened. It wasn't anything planned or anything like that. It happened in my life, so.
Okay, so is this something that you've studied for, or is this something that you kind of just done outside of school?
I actually did lots of parts of this outside of school. I do more like top hat and costume work outside of school. I did some courses in high school, but they were kind of just basic, and I just wanted to branch out and learn stuff myself. But I have gone to school for being a nail technician, so I've been practicing a lot on that because that's pretty fun, and I love like the designs they do with it. But other than that, I have basically just trained myself completely.
That's actually really impressive. So you do a lot of different types of art. Where does your inspiration come from? Because there's so many different styles that you do, and where does it all come from?
My inspiration, it comes from either the outside world or from stuff I see other artists doing. I'm really influenced a lot by the Japanese culture, because as growing up I was pretty much a geek, and I kind of everything I did was evolved around the Japanese culture. I mean, like music and everything, so I got a lot of their anime and manga type of style incorporated into my type of, I guess you would call that more like line work.
It's not an easy skill to learn. I've been practicing it for many years.
A lot of the other stuff, like the tattoo design and top hats like that, I think of these things as where I can use them and just having fun and being like living in the moment. And I really love Halloween, so those things really come in handy when I'm gonna go out for Halloween. So I always think of stuff like that. It's a lot of really fantasy type of stuff as well. So it's kind of a mixture of a lot of different things.
So you have a lot of stuff that kind of fuels your creativity.
Yeah, I've never really ever at a loss for creativity.
So where did you start? Like, what was the first type of art that you started doing?
The first type of art I ever started doing was just normal pencil work, like just pencil drawings. I started doing that when I was really young because my parents used to move a lot, and I think subconsciously I was doing it to cope with moving so much and not getting lots of friends and constantly having to change my friends over and over again. And that was the first way I started doing it, and then as I got older I progressed more into the line work of it, and then the watercoloring, and then the painting, and basically it just kept going and going. So now it's like on walls and on people's bodies and stuff, so it's all over the place.
That's interesting. So do you sell any of your art?
I sell lots of stuff on my jewelry type of stuff on my Etsy store, but I haven't got around to actually putting up new pieces of artwork to sell yet. I haven't actually ever sold my work, so it's a bit awkward going into this because I'm not really sure what to expect, but I was hoping to go sell them this year at the anime convention, but they didn't have it, so that's alright. Things happen.
Have you ever considered going into galleries, that sort of thing?
I was thinking about it for a little bit, but I don't know. The type of art I do is not something most widely accepted. as a lot of people think it is. It's more very cartoony, not realistic. People usually want more realistic or nature scenes in their house, so I probably could do more of a gallery for a certain type of group, but it wouldn't be appeal to a lot of people, so it'd be kind of hard.
So as far as the entertainment aspect of your job, what are some of the things that you can do?
Some entertainment things I actually do are, I do lots of balloon twisting and type of clowning type of work. I don't actually dress up as an actual clown and scare kids, because I don't know, kids seem to have a tendency to be afraid of like clowns and face makeup and everything. But I also used to do modeling, and I used to do some mural work too, so I basically do stuff that makes people happy, and they can actually use it for an actual other purpose. So if I do balloon twisting for you, people, they can take that home and that, their child will be happy with that. I used to do modeling, I used to do that to try and advertise for other companies and help them out. And I also used to do mural work, which helps other people so they can, they see their artwork, what they wanted on their wall. So I do a lot of stuff like that it's just awesome.
That is pretty awesome. So you have a wide variety of talents, a lot of things that you do. Is there anything that you want to specifically focus on in the next couple of years?
I'm going to try focusing probably more on the spa business right now, just because that's something that a lot of people enjoy and it helps people feel really good, and I'm all about making someone feel like in their element and feeling really good about themselves. But other than that, I do want to start writing more books and working more for myself as well, because I do want to accomplish myself as more of an artist as opposed to just a person just does everything, because an artist is a better label for somebody, what I feel, where it just shows that you have creative talent and that you can help other people and show it to them or train them or whatever.
So you're telling me that you have some talent musically as well. What is it that you can do?
I used to be able to sing really well. I don't really sing much anymore, but I do every now and then. And I actually used to take guitar lessons, and originally I wanted to pursue more of an art or not art career. I have more of a music field. I actually told my mom when I was like about 8 that I was like, oh, I want to be a singer. And mom was like, no, that's never gonna happen. Mostly for the fact that I just never sung, and I'm too shy to do it in front of people. So I have done it before on stage for a couple times, and I've also recorded some stuff before as well. But it's pretty fun, but I don't know, I'm too shy with that.
Well, it's always something you can work on, right? What kind of music did you used to sing?
I used to sing a lot more of like a cappella, or I guess maybe more rock type of style. My mom was really influenced when she was really young. She used to listen to Sarah McLachlan all the time. Like, it was crazy. And then as I got older, I liked more of the, I would say not really soft rock, but not really rock either. So when I started singing, I eventually started getting this really weird tinge to my voice. I noticed that was like, I can sing really high, but it's certain, if I sing lower octaves, it kind of cuts off, and doesn't really cut off, but it kind of like stays stationary. It's really hard to explain what it does, but it's really interesting. I don't know why that happened, but that was the music that influenced me the most, was probably just rock and kind of like not really country or folk, but the nice soft kind of romantic music, I guess. Swallowed up in the sound of my screaming, cannot cease for the fear of silent nights. Oh, how I long for the deep sleep dreaming, the goddess of imaginary light.
So in high school, like academically, there's a math and sciences. Arts aren't really recognized as much, I'd guess. Like, would you agree with that?
Yeah, they're very, very minimal. The ones that I took were just basics. They were just like the art basics, which I understood. They also went into ceramics, and there was some home ec and stuff like that, but there really wasn't very much of it. And I don't know, but I went to a couple other schools with my other friends, and I didn't actually go there, but I've talked to the teachers and stuff like that. And the school I went to, a lot of teachers, what they actually told me was the art that I was doing wasn't considered art. Like, it didn't take any sort of skill or anything to do it. So that's why I trained myself mostly. But other than that, yeah, there's not enough in schools to actually help someone like me who's wants to do a whole bunch of other things. They just kind of branch off and they're like, oh, here are some little opportunities, and that's about it.
I think it's because in school they have a specific guideline as to what is what, so they don't really recognize different types of art, which is recognized outside of high school and in the community as well. So how did you keep yourself going? Like, did you take courses for art outside of school, or was it mostly self-taught?
I was mostly self-taught. I took lots of classes when I was really young, and then as I got older, I just kind of decided I'll just train myself because it's just easier. That, and I had no money at the time, so my parents, they're very supportive of pushing me towards that. But I never really felt like I wanted them to pay for my education. I felt like I could do it myself, or at least train myself in some regard.
Okay. Okay. So have your parents always been really supportive of what you wanted to do as far as going into art?
My parents were actually really supportive about almost everything I do. When I was actually younger, they were like, you should go something into artworks. And I was like, no, it's okay. I don't need to do anything to do with that. And then as I got older, I was like, I could probably do this. So they've always been like behind my back. They've always told me that if I wanted to do anything, they'd help me and they push me to get to that place. And I've just tried to do it myself. But if I ever need someone, my parents are always there to help me.
That's really good. So with all these talents that you have, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to have written a book by then, I'm hoping. I want to have a family, want to have my own house. I do want to have my own kind of business at the side. I do want to do more nails and work in the spa industry as well. I kind of just want to do stuff that makes me happy and that things that I can just do a numerous amount of other things, not just one thing.
Yeah, it's good. You can do a lot of different things that keeps a lot of people happy. So what kind of book did you want to write? I didn't even know you wanted to go into writing.
I actually wanted to write more of a fantasy, not really sci-fi, but more fantasy book. I used to write a lot as a child, but I just never really pursued it very much. I just have so much creativity in that respect that I have to have the time to just sit down and write it. I'm just all over the place that I usually never have the time, but I really want to do it.
That'd be really interesting. So any messages for the youth of today?
If you really have something that you're really interested in, don't let anyone else stop you and tell you not to. Teachers in high school told me that what I was doing wasn't considered art, like I said before, and that didn't stop me, and it should have, because that is really, really upsetting to someone no one's supporting you in that regard. But it doesn't matter if no one's supporting you. If you really want to do something, just go after it and do it yourself, because you really can teach yourself more than a lot of people can.
Yeah, I think it's really important to elaborate on your passion, do what you want to do. It's what keeps you happiest in life. Thank you very much for coming out today and talking to us. I had a very enjoyable time talking to you. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thanks so much for having me. I had a great time.